Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. I'm your host, Kelvin. I hope you're all doing well today. The harvest is here. And I gotta say, the American combines and planters are really showing how useful they are. Like, they harvest so fast. Like, just so unbelievably fast. You know, the maximum harvesting speed of some... Oh, yeah, I guess we have the CK5 combine now, but... Yeah. We can get up to 36, actually. I did not notice that. Oh, well, it's fine. Either way, I'm used to much slower harvesting things. And, oh, God, yeah, that's good. So, I've done a little bit of math from around when I hit 20-21%, and at least... For 90% fertility, I'm on target for 260 tons, which is pretty good. That said, this field did eventually get planted, for the record. I'm hoping to maybe make things work soon. The rest of the combine's not going to be getting launched? Looks like they might be just slowly. Yeah, not all of them are fully grown yet. Alright. Actually, yeah. This is a tractor. It's... Hold on. I don't actually want you to plant. Instead, what I'm going to do... I'm just worried this will break things, but hopefully not. Minimum fertility. Yeah, good. Oh, okay, yeah. It has to go back and put the solid fertilizer down. There we go. Okay. Nice. So, the good news for us is the green bin program that I set up in our city. For those of you who don't know, for the record, the green bin program's like the food waste and other biodegradable recycling program we have here in Canada. And, you know, this truck has been admirably bringing fertilizer out here to this farm. Yeah, this thing isn't sowing, it's just spreading the fertilizer. Unfortunately, this field is looking like it's using a lot. Oh yeah, because it's using its actual nutrient level, right. The problem is so many of these, yeah, they're down to 0. Actual nutrient level decreases with each harvest. There are basically 2 ways to go about this. And I was hoping to not have to use the other way. I was hoping I would just have enough solid fertilizer. Although that's looking like a little bit of a pipe dream. Having a high actual nutrition level is going to mean that the fertility doesn't fall very much when I do harvest. Like, it's going to consume like 10-15% of the actual nutrient level. So if the actual nutrient level is, you know, whatever, this is basically going to be the fertility level after the harvest. Alright. At least we got that medium field filled. But yeah, that used a fair bit. So whenever the rest of this harvest comes in, this is probably just going to be a one-time thing. I could try and plant again, and then not harvest. Well, no. I harvest, but then I leave it... Actually, can I leave crops to fallow? Normally, the winter destroys the crops. Normally, it's the winter that destroys the crops, right? Interesting. And then this thing's getting re-sowed immediately. I love how fast this little friggin' tractor moves. I'm so silly. Yeah, the distribution office is keeping up with this. And we're getting more and more crop in here. Which is pretty good. have some time to get some more fertilizer, but without much in the way of actual nutrient level, I don't know how well we'll do. But I mean, it's actually going okay for now. This thing is actually able to pull all the bio waste. So, how much bio waste do we get out here? Like more than 20%. Like, enough for me to be able to do this, I think. Like, I don't know what your... This is mostly burnable, but there is some bio waste. But you don't have any containers to separate. So this technical service, I'm going to have you start bringing the industrial biological waste here. Good. Yeah, this thing seems like they produce a lot of bio waste. Yeah. Because, yeah, it looks like I'm going to need a lot of bio waste. It's actually kind of peak economics, where the garbage that is produced by, like, my food factories, and specifically just in general all my crop consuming factories, gets turned into fertilizer to produce more crops. I love it. Yeah, so you can see the actual nutrient level is going to go down with the growing progress here. So, that's very good. I hope 50 tons of fertilizer, like, spread out over the field is going to be enough to, like, get them to 150% fertility one more time. Like, this thing will basically, I think, only consume 10% of the actual nutrient level to grow. I think. We'll find out. We shall find out. And then there's the idea of maybe getting liquid fertilizer. But, yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Good, we already have some mixed. Ah, good. Another load of bio waste is coming in. Perfect. Honestly, I might need a second dump. Yeah. That would probably be the correct thing to do in this case, because I am not super confident about this. Like, this is actually relatively even, and like the fertilizer truck is able to kind of keep it going. But I know almost immediately that this is going to, like, completely flood and overflow it. So I think I'm going to set that instead. And just let this this one actually have a grasp on what it needs. Then that fills up, I'll get another container and start bringing over more. Alright, there's still 41 tons of crop. So, this pretty much confirms that, unfortunately, crops are not going to be left to fallow. Huh? Okay, now that's because that thing's planting, or fertilizing. It's fertilizing what it can. Fertility will climb. %, 98. Consume like 20% actual nutrient level. Either way, yeah, we're not going to plant anything that we can't, like, properly fertilize, so that's going to suck, but it is what it is, and hopefully with my efforts, we'll make a difference and actually get the nutrient levels up. I'm just thinking. Would it be better to like resume a lot of chemical imports and then just, you know, replace this with a fertilizer factory? I don't think so. Yeah, we've blown through a lot of the fertilizer. And there it goes. This has only got up to 85% fertility. So yeah, that's the only thing that's actually going to grow for a bit. Gonna let that churn for a bit. Another 6.5 tons of fertilizer for you. And I know it's not much, but like it's the best I can do right now. It may have been wiser to launch my green bin program sooner and like pre-collect a couple hundred tons of fertilizer, but alas I did not. I've also decided to finally get around to researching uranium enrichment and maybe set this up in Radong. Like I have an entire region here I can basically get rid of and have this flow into here. And the reason for that is fairly simple. I realized that I don't really need the casks if I'm producing the uranium enrichment myself. It's only when you like import, you know, because well, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna assume that we're okay, and just the rad protected export I can just pick up stuff from. I'll need open space for containers, but I think I can automate it. I'm not sure about nuclear fuel fabrication. I might be able to automate that as well. But like I can definitely put that there and that there. They'll be within walking range of this. And we can definitely potentially be exporting full-on nuclear fuel soon. Which honestly, yeah, I think that might be worth it. Jesus, they require so much power. So yeah, I'm currently thinking about doing that. I'm going to research them, then we're going to, I mean honestly, demolition will cause pollution. Yeah, there's 100 uranium ore in this goddamn thing. It's going to cause so much pollution. 104 tons of hazard waste. Yeah, go friggin' figure. So yeah, there you go. That's, that'll take forever. That's fine. Ooh, yeah, we're bringing in lots of bio waste here. That's good. Maybe enough to actually, get another waste truck. So we do have the KMZ 5320 big garbage container now, which contains the exact same amount, but at least it can go 80. Is it worth it to maybe be using these? I'm gonna try one, and we'll see what happens. You know? Accidentally bought it in there. Like, I'm gonna try it and see what happens. I just intuitively assumed I should use the big container, but that might not be the case. Load fertilizer. Unload fertilizer. Wait until load. This thing has like 2 spots. Thank fuck. So I can have one truck pulling from it constantly. Train is waiting too long. Yeah, why are you waiting? Why is everyone waiting? Oh, because of you. Just ignore the red signal. Oh no, you collided. You're fine. Yeah, so this is the actual problem with having junctions next to each other. Like, this is going to be a permanent headache. Unless I figure out some way of fixing this. But basically, yeah. The zone's kind of screwed. I do have the semaphores in correctly, right? Because this being here... Oh yeah, if it was gonna try... Yeah, they were set to collide, no matter what. So yeah, I need to probably try and redesign this part at some point. Yeah. It's a problem. It probably won't cause too many, like, headaches too often, but yeah. Speaking of which, I don't think I showed off this. So while those crops were growing, I did indeed order these guys to get to work. So we're heading towards the construction of the next farming zone. Yeah, this thing's done 3,000 tons of crops. And climbing, like... There's still, like, one field that is unsown. So, I'm gonna take this, and we'll see. And, yeah. So, I was right that I needed more than 3,200 crops space. Mm-hmm. I mean, this thing's doing pretty well. Still a lot of less little bits of crops to collect, though. And fertility's not great. Yeah. Pretty much all the fields are going to be considered to have low fertility until we can get enough fertilizer in. Well, other than the fact that that thing's animated, it seems like it's fine. It's just going to keep pulling the fertilizer. Which is good. That means a lot more fertilizer is coming this way. Yeah, in a weird sense, I have to use fertilizer in this environment. Since, like I kind of talked about before, you can use, you can leave the crops on the field for winter to fertilize as well. Like, you can just give up your first harvest, or one harvest every 10 years, and then you don't need to worry about fertilizer. Which isn't too bad. But, there's always a but. Alright, 3,219. Looks like that's the final count. Nice. Since I can't do that here, I am screwed. Yeah, and there's still this field as well. These are just going to lay barren until enough fertilizer can be gotten for them. Which I guess is fine. Like, this is more of an experiment than anything else, so... Geez, the actual nutrient level, it drops so much more than I anticipated. Holy cow. Oh, but the fertility isn't dropping. Okay. That's the trick. Right. I'm not 100% certain, honestly, how farming works. It's generally been such a waste that I haven't really taken up too much of it. I don't know why you aren't doing this. I mean, I know why. It's because for whatever reason, yeah, that distribution office just isn't working yet. But I'm going to do what I did before. I'm just going to replace it with a line. Because the dumps have 2 drop-offs, I'm not super worried. It's not like it's going to be aggressively... busy or anything, so... Yeah, this thing can't even really load enough. Oh shit. Trash. There. Yeah, load the fertilizer. But yeah, so load of fertilizers are on the way. Alright, so I can take a rough, like, full calc now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 48.1 acres. Plus whatever that one is. $1.57. So 48.1 plus 1.57. 49.67. So 32. 3219.44. Yeah, I need this level of precision for sure. Divided by 49.67. So I get about 64, 65, 64.81 for anyone keeping super accurate track. But I'm going to round that and call it 65. I got 65, tons of crop per acre. So that's not too bad. Multiply that by 4.81. Yeah, 311. Alright, so my initial headcount math is off pretty badly. But yeah, I got about 311 tons of crops per thing. And that was only at around 100% fertility, so like, as I get the fertility higher, we should maybe get more crops. Not maybe, that's a yes, definitely, we're going to get more crops. That's how that works. Alright. Still, it's good. Alright, so I'm thinking that I still definitely want the chemical plant. God, the imports are going to make this annoying. I'm just going to delete that road. Alright. Like, it should be easy enough to hook into the rail line for whatever I need. Which is, honestly, I'm probably going to supply this by train. That makes the most sense. If I just have one train with one hopper of everything, maybe if I strategically ratio it properly, it should be fine. This is going to require like 700 workers, but I think it'll be worth. It'll be worth a lot to get done. It only requires 67% water quality, which I mean, that should be fine. Even like some of the worst water quality I have gotten 67% water quality before. Because there's another one, or maybe it was 75, I forget. There's like another factor I'm like, oh, that won't be a problem. And then it was a problem. You know? The Fabric Factory, probably. Oh yeah, the Fabric Factory is 85% water quality, so that's why. Okay, so yeah, I can definitely just sloop in some water. Do I want to put it up here so that way it's raised and elevated and self-feeding? That would make sense, but probably not. I just kind of would assume that the surface water intake is somewhat pressurized by default. Well, it requires no power anyway. It's the water quality is only 76%. Okay. So, even next to the worst ecological disaster possible, the water quality doesn't drop below 74%. Good. Alright, so we can pump sewage into the chemical plant and it'll work. Speaking of which, this bad boy is probably going to need its own sewage outflow. Which is fine. Alright. Fire truck dispatched. Good. On that note, make sure that gets reconstructed. I try and stay on top of things. Yep, keep this going. We're gonna eventually have this this place built up too. Although it does not look like I have enough for. Well, I guess that's part of the trick. Is I don't know how much fertilizer I'm truly going to need for upkeep, right? You know, I need a big spike to bring my fields up to acceptable levels at first. But like, oh god, 37% growing progress is dead by 15. So. What is that going to be? 30% actual nutrient level consumed? Jeez. Yeah, bringing in enough fertilizer for all this is going to be hard. Yeah, things are harvesting. Trying to get a little bit of the actual nutrients in. Yeah. Alright. Research program finished. Good. Nuclear fuel. Perfect. Slowly but steadily, this stuff's gonna get hauled off. That's gonna take a long time, so don't get any hopes up real quick, eh? And this looks like it should be able to fit just in here, exactly as expected. Maybe I have to delete this road, which is fine. It's not really fine. Definitely access to this. And I doubt we can get... Yeah. So that might be a bit of a problem. We'll see. I may have to do a bit of reconstructing. Yeah. Although, honestly, I mean, this is kind of defeated or lost its purpose, so I might just tear this down. Which would solve the problem. And then let me... Yeah. Yeah. Wonder... I've never tried deconstructing railways before, so that's going to be interesting. It's not like... a lot here. None of this is biological waste, I assume. I'm not sure I would care, honestly, if it was. You know? Like... Yeah. It's a tiny amount of biological waste. There's almost entirely other waste, so... worth burning. Okay. But yeah, until we can push a lot more fertilizer, that's just not going to improve. In the meantime, though, let's maybe look at this chemical plant again. And continue planning. Okay. If I supply it by train, do I need externals? I don't think so. I don't think I should. Because this thing, again, can do, what, 15 days without crops, 20-ish days without oil. Yeah, 15 days without wood, more without gravel. Although the problem is gravel I'd like to locally supply. Yeah, I'd like to locally supply the gravel. Since I have it. Importing gravel feels like it would be bad. Theoretically, I'd locally supply the crops, but that's going to require a lot more farm field setups. And in general, just more crop distribution network setup, so for now, we'll call it an import. But the gravel will be brought in... okay, there. Alright. I don't think I need... like a separate storage or anything. Like, it should be fine. Because, like, the internal storage is fairly robust. It's, you know, like 140 tons or something. It just means I will need multiple trucks driving it, which I can arrange. That's not a problem. So, truck aggregate unloading. Or no, continue. That's the one I want to spend construction on. This thing's a monster. And will take time. But still, it's my monster. I also really should maybe get more flats. Yeah, we do have, like, just a bunch of homeless people. And I now have, like, a decent amount of income, so you know what? Yeah. Like, the new export industry has helped a lot. And it's pretty obvious I'm going to need new workers soon. Right. I'm just going to need to remember... to get, yeah, like, garbage pickup for these. I definitely will need a path through there, so I leave a little bit of space. There, like 4 Dnipro flats. Yeah, like, Jesus Christ. Maybe just like 3, I don't know. Yeah, about there works. Alright. You're gonna need the waste containers. It's fine. Put it about here. Yep. So outside of this one, which means the asphalt footpath there. 86 good, so it can hit all of them. Perfect. Alright. Actually, yeah. Let's maybe just let like 10 workers from outside the construction office in. 5 there. Yeah. But yeah, get another district going. Actually have some students in this auditorium, nice. Yeah, that's coming along. International air traffic, maybe. Yeah. This is everything we need for now. For now. But yeah, that'll be a pile of more people. Yep. Like, the fertilizer just gets used so quickly. It's nuts. Okay, that is a concerning amount of nutrient use. Like, holy crap. 23%. So I think it's actually going to be like consuming 40% actual nutrient level. So that is a huge change. It used to, I swear, only have to do one, like, fallow per, like, 10 years to keep the actual nutrient level. That's clearly a lot more now. Probably because of the fertilizer update. Yep. Well, I mean, the biological waste is coming at as fast as it can. But yeah, it's hard to get for sure. Which is a bit of a problem, honestly. What are we supposed to do? I do not know. I guess, honestly, build the asphalt road. So something I'm considering is trying to force everyone off at this bus stop. And then also supplying this place with workers by train. Yeah, that might work. Presumably you have some footpath connections, yeah. Like, I could definitely make that work. A little small train platform they get off at. Yep. That would be the cargo line. And that both connects into here. Yeah, that could work. Because, like, these people that get off of this bus, like, how long did you wait to get here? 2 hours, fuck. Presumably there's some traffic in the city, but... Actually, that kind of makes me worried for our uranium stuff. So, like, if there's traffic in the city... Like, clearly there fucking is now. Oh no, the travel time's not too time traveling. Yeah, it's over 2 hours now. I think it might still just be better to do direct connections. Which, while not the greatest, we'll have to do, I think. Alright. So, out of curiosity, where else do I have some uranium? Yeah, this hill. Like another uranium plant, and over here is at least theoretically possible. I think. Oof. Trying to find good quality. Yeah, here we are. A little bit of an awkward spot for sure, but I mean, that is a 99% quality uranium mine. I can't argue with that. 96, and I could build it in a sane position. So yeah, we have some high quality uranium there in that mountain, which either maybe I just need a load of bulldozers and I'd literally just flatten this goddamn mountain, or I get creative. Honestly, it's pretty dangerous, given how creative I already get sometimes. All right, but yeah, so I'm gonna assume I'll have no problem doing something like this. Angle of railway crossing is too sharp, really? Fine, we'll do it like that. It's not my favorite way, but it works. It won't matter, I think we're still quite a ways out from actually having any of that constructed, but hey, you never know, right? Well, actually, I guess maybe not. I'm gonna want to spend the construction of that, and this. So from here, I was just gonna build the rail line directly into the chemical plant, which will help. 23,000 work days. Continue the construction, honestly. I have no reason to not. Also, given that the roadway is constructed as is, should probably be about time I at least one-way it up to here. What do you mean use it over finished roads? This is all finished, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Some points it seems like it's okay running over, and other ones it's not. But yeah, that gets us the one-way highway set up. Although, pretty clearly could you maybe use the mud road here. So they don't have to do anything too silly. Like, drive all around this. I guess none of them actually are, but still. In that case, make it gravel. Gravel road. Keep her going. Got lots to build. I think the second farm's going to remain dormant for a while, which is okay. Since, like, I don't know, part of me realizes the only way this is going to function is that there is an equilibrium where... Yeah, this is actually... They're loading so much. Oh, man. I could speed up their loading by making dumps with claw machines. I use these because they were free, to be fair. And I think that was a good call. But yeah, looks like we're going to need the claw machines, which is fine. And honestly not particularly surprising. I wasn't sure how much, like, biological waste we were actually producing. But it turns out it's a lot. It turns out it's an unacceptable amount for my purposes here. Claw machines do speed up the loading a fair bit. Before I allow the construction on these to begin, though, I would like to consider some things. 2, 2, and 2. Okay. So there is no vehicle or no dump that has more than 2. Yeah. Why do all dumps only have 2? This one doesn't apparently have any. Stations for vehicle loading and unloading. Okay. So I know what to do in this case then, because now I have these dumps that actually won't suck quite as much. I have, for my use here, road cargo stations. And assuming a road cargo station can connect simultaneously to both dumps, which, given the situation, actually might be a bit of an ask. But not impossible. Might just barely get her. We can just have them dump and have up to 6 things picking up at once, which will allow me to increase the throughput a lot. Like I said, this was just kind of, you know, the experiment. This is for reals. And admittedly, while ugly as sin, it is at least functional. The question is, can I make it not ugly as sin? I'd really like if it wasn't ugly as sin, you know? And I think I definitely can. Okay. So, let's start with a 6-thing road cargo station. You know, there. And then connect up a couple of dumps. I am going to, you know, use the ones with the claw machine, as I mentioned. Like, this definitely should connect. Not quite. Probably because the slight angle on it, you know? How about there? There we go. This one is unnecessary. And for actual sake, I'll use gravel here. There. Alright. It's not too bad. So yeah, this is a new waste separation processing center for the bio waste and fertilizer should help. That will give me the capacity to have, well, let's see, 6 loading at increased speed. I don't know how much faster these are, but they are faster. At a bare minimum, I expect that to be like basically 12 times as like the throughput, which, yeah, that might actually be enough. At that point, I feel like the biological waste input is going to be the slow part, but I mean, that should improve as time goes on. And I continue to collect more and more biological waste. My population increases. Everything. It'll be good. There is still biological waste being dumped here. From somewhere. Where, I do not yet know. Yep, not helpful. Ooh, here's a bad one. Okay. And the rest are all pretty bioed up. Good. Yeah, our increasing efforts of collecting the biological waste, creating fertilizer, and creating crops helps. Alright. So the 60% one definitely would skew the numbers a little bit, but... I think for now... Hang on, where? Yeah, this one would be the next spot after the cargo train station. Where this will load to grain. There. See, this is going to come try and pick up as much grain as possible, so it needs to pick up a lot less at the border. It's still full of stuff, like, I definitely will need to eventually separate out the system. But that'll be alright. At least, you know, this is less importing that needs to be done as a result. Which I'm always happy to have. Less imports will save us a little money. And let me recuperate a little bit of money from the farming project. Not bad, though. There's just so much construction that's going to be going on for the next while. Like, there is a solid chance that there is a long time skip between this episode and the next one. Just because of how much construction is ongoing. For the record. If there's a large time, if I expect a large time skip, I'll try and let you guys know. But yeah. So much just has to be built. Double up here, yeah. All right. I think that's good though. We're in good shape. We're in good shape. Gonna be able to tear down this little bit of chemical plant. God, I have no idea what horrors you are going to contain. I'm going to assume you have a big garbage container. Yeah. Mud connection. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, 607 tons of steel. This is going to be expensive. But I am going to be able to export a lot of chemicals off the back of this. You know? Going to be very good. I think I'm also going to need the railway distribution office finally. Yeah. Wisdom says I should pre-plan that and get that kind of in place. Because basically, as the complexity of my supply network increases, a distribution office can help with that a lot. and make it a lot more efficient, since I don't then have to be only using lines, and, you know, especially if I'm going to do chemicals. Chemicals will need to be dropped off every now and again. So, like, it'll work. Railway distribution office is located... General cargo? Yeah, here we are. I'm gonna pull this back at least a little bit. So that way we can have a nice proper... Yep. Let's see. There to there. Little bit of a monstrosity, but it'll do. I'll approve it. Alright. So much to build. My construction teams are definitely going to be spread pretty thin. For the foreseeable future. Alright. There we are. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Go. Well, I had to only get 2. Oh, because I didn't select wait until loaded. Yeah, they may sometimes just not truly wait. Because, like, the load rate is so slow, every now and again, like, the AI will just be like, oh, you're done loading. That'll be a lot better here, but, you know. And it'll require this all getting built. Alright. But yeah, I call this glorious success, comrades. Yeah, that's still taking its sweet time. Hang on, has any progress? No, it's not. Oh, I never hit this button. Damn it. Okay. Now progress begins on demolishing that. And maybe setting up the rest of the uranium production line. Better. Alright. So thank you everyone for watching. I have been your host, Kelvin. And I will see you next time. Take care, folks. Have a good night.